Maso di montagna, grazie del follow. Scusami, grazie dell'host. Audio ok? L'audio ok? Che è sempre un problema l'audio, non si capisce perché. Fatemi sapere, eh? Dico, a parte i botti che sto facendo ora sul tavolo. Ehi Niki, buongiorno. Mi puoi confermare se l'audio si sente bene? Cioè se mi senti con l'audio che frigge, non frigge e compagnia? Un po' di rumore di fondo è normale, perché non ho software noise cancelling installato. Cioè, più che altro non ho attivi filtri. Non so se frequenti sempre. Opla. Ciao Marco, come stai? Ciao, ciao Rob Maz. Ciao Griver, grazie. Buon lavoro a tutti anche se state lavorando, anche voi, per qualche motivo. E se no buon relax. Allora, oggi ho ricevuto un po' di informazioni preliminari su quali testi finiranno sul poster, non sono pochissimi, però mi sembra una quantità gestibile per il momento, poi vediamo. Che ovviamente è molto difficile finire a fare un manifesto. In teoria la logica vorrebbe che uno sa quello che deve scrivere prima di progettarlo al poster, questo non succede mai. Perché c'è una specie di forza occulta che impedisce a queste informazioni di palesarsi tranne un minuto dopo che hai finito. È un po' così. Però è normale, è il lavoro nostro, è così. Sarebbe tutto più facile averlo un minuto prima, ma devono arrivare un minuto dopo, sempre. Dai Marco, che stai facendo? Beh, mi ricordo che hai fatto un libro illustrato per bambini tanto tempo fa, no? Però parliamo di forse 10 anni fa. Lì in Austria, dico. Ok. Vabbè, comunque le cose che vanno non bene devono essere uno stimolo a fare meglio, non a fermarsi. Se quello vuoi fare, nella vita, questo è ovvio. Vabbè, ma lo sai meglio di me. Insomma, banale. È una banalità, quindi è anche inutile che la dico. Eh no, mi ricordo, mi ricordo. Dai, bene. Parti dalle cose semplici, Marco. Non ti buttare subito a fare robe troppo complicate. Parti facile, date gli obiettivi molto raggiungibili, perché sennò poi uno poi riprende una delusione per qualche motivo e ti rifermi, no? Invece date gli obiettivi molto facili da raggiungere e guarda che dietro gli obiettivi molto facili si possono nascondere poi delle esperienze pazzesche, eh? Obiettivi semplici, possibilmente quotidiani, no? Se iniziano un po' i quotidiani dedica però un appuntamento fisso a sto processo e il tempo che ci vuole a finire ci metti. Quello che posso dirti è che quando uno ricomincia che è grande capisce molto di più il valore dello studio, del tempo impiegato, no? Perché ovviamente tempo ce n'hai poco, ti diventa chiaro quello che non sai fare, riesci ad accettare di più i tuoi limiti, no? Cioè, poi, perché ne conosco di persone che continuano a fare all'infinito lo stesso errore pure a 50 anni e lì vabbè, c'è poco da fare, no? Perché vuol dire che sono persone che proprio non vogliono mettersi in discussione neanche un minuto proprio. Però generalmente diciamo che ricominciare da grandi può essere estremamente vantaggioso, perché ricominci con un'altra consapevolezza, no? Ciao una ragazza qualunque, ben arrivata. Pulizie domenicali. Ok, mi raccomando, eh. Poi se ti serve ci sentiamo, chiacchieriamo, mi spieghi bene. Cioè io se posso aiutarti su questo non ti fa problemi, eh. Cioè vedi, ci conosciamo da 40 anni. Ovviamente hai un canale preferenziale su questo. Non te lo devo manco di. Sempre quello, Marco. Mai cambiato. Sì, ecco, magari non lo può stare, se no è la fine. Blocca io di Twitch. Esatto. Io questo cecconi lo voglio salvare. A proposito di magnottismi vari, mi mi stavo vedendo, in realtà ho rivisto uno solo, ma poi ho continuato a vedere il resto, i video sui sampler Amiga fatti da Citrix, scritto Citrix, è pazzesco, sono bellissimi. Che quando mi sono rimesso in piedi un'Amiga 500 come si deve, ci voglio suonare. Quindi mi sto documentando un po'. Ma ha fatto dei video troppo belli, super seri. Hey Watashi Nut, thank you so much for the follow. Everglades Drown, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Lo devo leggere subito, Marco? O è una roba che posso leggere dopo? Perché da qui, da dove disegno, non posso leggere i PM con facilità. Mi tocca alzarmi e interrompere. Se non è subito, subito. Ah, aspetta, faccio subito allora, dai. Hey, wishlist. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, no, quello. Confermato. Aspetta che vedo se è quello che dici tu. Lo posso vedere qua. Vediamo se sul telefonino mi fa vedere. Allora, devo aprire Twitch. Twitch. Basta. Twitch. Rimanda un po' il link, Marco, un secondo. Grazie. Sì, sì. Sì, sì, è lui, è lui. Ah, Citrix è un gigante, va. Fighissimo. Sta un disco suo pure fighissimo che si chiama A for Amiga, ha fatto tutto con l'Amiga, bellissimo. E LGN TV. Ciao. Dipende Marco, fa un po' di tutto, però sì, generalmente usa il MIDI. Con la configurazione attuale pure io la controllo via MIDI, l'amica. Gli mando notazione, tempo, tutto dalla mono machine. C'è un piccolo sperimentino nel live, quello lungo che ho fatto di recente. Devo dire funziona veramente bene, perché c'hai per ogni... Ehi, CB Banana! Thank you for the follow, thank you so much. Ehm, Hai una parte multitimbral per ogni canale MIDI, quindi ti puoi grabbare una voce dell'amiga per ogni eh, canale MIDI che gli mandi, e con Octamed c'hai fino a 8 stream audio multitimbral. Infatti quasi si merita una lane MIDI dedicata, che 8 non ce ne sia proprio tante, però diciamo generalmente mi accontento di 4. Però guarda che Reason è proprio figo come software. Dici che è un polmonazzo? Io lo trovo potentissimo. Spiega un po' perché ti ci sei trovato male? Sono curioso. Cioè, è chiaro che è un po' un software generazionale Reason, no? Cioè, nel senso, è uscito un po' dai radar, da un po', forse anche un po' poco aggiornato, c'è tutta una serie di piccole cose che forse non sono proprio il top del top del top, però io sarà che sono un po' ossessionato da questa roba, e quando trovi uno strumento te lo devi tenere stretto. È meglio diventare bravo, no? Con una roba piuttosto che cambiare in continuazione, però dipende dai punti di vista. Cioè, io per dire ho trovato delle robe con cui mi trovo talmente bene che non le cambierei per nessun motivo al mondo. Se stessi su un software con cui mi trovo male, le cose cambierebbero. Vabbè, insomma, stasera lo vediamo completo sto poster, eh? Sono abbastanza curioso di vedere cosa salterà fuori. Hey, thank you so much, Blake and Design. Thank you so much. We were just talking about an Australian music artist called C Trix. I don't know if you know him. He's a great, it's a kind of genius for retro hardware for making music like chiptune and computer music. Hey, Louis Tick. Thank you so much for the follow. What time is it in Australia right now, by the way? Looks like it should be super late. Or not, maybe 8. Yeah, it's very cool. It's super nice. If you're into computer music or game music or that kind of stuff, it's great. It's probably the best out there, actually. Playing old hardware for making music. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you, Luistic. Ah, don't worry, Blake. È una buona figata. Oh, color pencil. I used to use color pencil back in the days. I was very into a very specific brand. It's called Stabilo. The 87 series from Stabilo. What's these pencils? These pencils here. Just a second, I'll show you. Yeah, this one. Just a second, I can zoom in, show you better. And this color here, which is the 87. Oh no, this is the 380. Where is it? Can't find the real one. Just a second. Here it is. No. I just can't find the color I wanted to show you, which is a very special color that was available only in that series that somehow has the color of light, which is kind of weird to say, because I know it's kind of, it sounds like snake oil, but it's actually true, because it has that very specific frequency of violet that will produce some very nice shades when you're drawing shadows under a sky dome, you know, like the reflected light from a sky, and it's very specific. I don't know. I can't find it, and it's my most important pencil out there. I don't know where I did put. Like I have, when I find it in shops, I usually buy like I don't know 20 of them because it's the most important color pencil out there for me, for my style. Oh, luminance. Yeah, luminance. They are very, very strong. There's some wax in them, right? Well, I'm more into fine grain pigments. Luminance for me is way uh, too. I don't know how to call it. Like they are fat, okay, which is beautiful, especially if you have to work on top of your drawings, like if you want to add some bright stuff over darker stuff, which is never recommended, but you can do that with luminance. Well, Stabilo is more like into the Prismalo Carandash range, classic, more technical kind of color pencil. But I started like 4 years, like 3 years I studied color pencil with during my industrial design classes we did photorealistic rendering with color pencil and markers. So somehow it's one of those techniques that I actually mastered back in the days, and I never used it professionally. It's weird. Like it's probably the technique that I developed the most, and I never use it. But yeah, it's so nice to use color pencil. So I envy you. Yeah, polychromos. They're so nice. Yeah, I use them for doing like outlines. I usually use those colors here, which is Prussian blue, indigo, Prussian blue, mauve, and walnut brown, and black. These colors I use them for drawing the line art, for color drawings, because you can paint over them and they blend only with oil, but water, they're water resistant, they're perfect. So you can have very nice effects painting or drawing on oil paintings while having a very precise lines for watercolor, like for ink wash. They stay still, they never wash away. They're beautiful colors. No, but please write me your. Do you have an Instagram account? If it's proper, like you don't have any not safe for work and that stuff that Twitch may don't like, feel free to post your link, no problem. I'm open to share stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, polychromos, they kind of, they are jack of all trades for mixed media. They're so nice. Okay. Thank you. And do you draw from life or not? Like you work from what you see, how you work from your mind, from imagination. Hey, Grind Bonzo 79, thank you so much for the follow, for following the channel. I'm sorry. Ok. Ehi, parlo italiano. Ciao, Grind Bonzo, bellissimo nome. Che palle, l'app di Twitch quando ti va in stand by il telefono si perde. Black Can Design. Wow, that frog is gorgeous. Look at that. You should work for like, you know, educational books. Like, you depict nature so well. Ops, sì, hai ragione. Grazie, una ragazza qualunque, grazie. Thank you so much, Blake. Yeah, your drawings are super sharp, incredible stuff. And yeah, color pencil can go very crazy into detail. It's a medium which is perfect for rendering photorealistic images. And you know, I like the way they are kind of, you can be laid back. I don't know. It's like there are some mediums, like graphite as well is very demanding in terms of planning out your work. You have to be very precise. And once you just touch the drawing, it's ruined. Like it's like working with radioactive materials. Like you have to be very, very, very what's the word? Like you always are scared to ruin everything, no? Well, color pencils are way more like you can try things, get back, insist if you feel it's the right way. You have a limited color palette, which totally helps in choosing color. Well, when you work with an endless palette that, I don't know, watercolors can offer, like you really are in the position of screwing everything like in a second. It's very scary, very scary. Thank you so much. Well, no, when you work with two tones, I think it's easier from that point of view. It's easier because you have to manage only how dark you're pushing your drawing. It's way easier. But the medium itself, it's very delicate. Like it's very easy to wipe away part of the detail. If you go on top of the graphite with other mediums, you're always risking to push the graphite out of the drawing, to smudge stuff. It's just very unfortunate from that point of view. It's very flexible, but it's also very demanding. It's a trade-off. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, they will blend with oils, the polychromos pencils. I actually use them on linseed oil or vegetable solvent, like I should have it here somewhere. This one, which is Italian stuff, so you won't find it, but you can find equivalent everywhere, I guess. I don't know if we have autofocus on. No. Okay, but it's vegetable solvent for oil colors. I don't know what's in it because there's no any kind of indication about it. But it's a very powerful medium for a color pencil like polychromos. L'idea di questo disegno è il frutto di un processo che mi ha portato a fare altre 8 proposte più o meno, e questa è quella che ha vinto. Sono tutte idee mie. Ed è la parte difficile di questo lavoro, è quella di venire fuori con un'idea figa. La parte facile di fare le idee per questo disegno è stata che avendo lavorato al film, insomma, avevo proprio chiarissimo quelli che erano gli argomenti importanti, no? Thank you so much, Blake. Who's the other artist using graphite? Tell me. I'm very into that, so maybe I can go and make new friends on Twitch. Yeah, wishlist. Yeah, graphite never blends with oils, and you know it's gray, which dulls every color. That's why I'm using those darker colors from Faber-Castell, like the Prussian blue, indigo, the violet, and the walnut brown, because they are almost black, but when you blend them, they just take out some saturation with some temperature, you know, like you got this middle temperature, warm and super cool temperatures, which are so nice, especially if you work with even if you work with just black and white in oil and you lay down nice how do you call that, underpainting made with some colored pencils. The effects are amazing. They're so nice. I'm still studying that kind of situation, but somehow someday I will start to post some of the results, which I do like, as for now. But I'm still not convinced 100% yet, so I have to study. Okay. I will definitely have a look to that profile. Thank you so much. Okay, which is it's a very difficult market, so it must be very good. Hey Marrot21, thank you so much for the follow. I didn't notice your follow, sorry. Oh, don't worry, I can find the nickname for sure. But if you want, yes, I'll be more than happy to know him. Hey, Gristle for the win. Thank you so much. Ehi lacrimobia o lacrimobia, grazie per il follow. Grazie, grazie. What is it you are drawing on top of? What do you mean? It's arch paper. It's watercolor paper. 300 grams. Hot pressed kind of paper. Yeah. It's a digital sketch of the. Yeah, sorry, I didn't get it. It's a digital sketch that I made in Photoshop. Then I printed it on this arch paper, and now I'm doing the final rendering, drawing on top of it, which is very convenient, especially when you have to be sure that the drawing you're making is spot on in terms of um, photorealism for what for the visual features, sorry, of the facial features of the actress. This makes me way more confident, of course, because I can work with something that is being uh, tested and proved to be good enough in Photoshop, and then I just can focus on the pencil rendering for everything, which is what I am after in terms of final finish and feeling for the image. It suits the mood so good for a movie. Like it's somehow is getting closer to film actually, using this kind of rendering on this paper especially, which has a very beautiful photographic grain. Yeah, exactly, that one. Exactly, Mars Mobius. Like, you can work hard only on what you are, what needs to be done the hard way. Like, it's stupid to lose resources on something that you can do easier. There's no way. I would never exchange my, like, it's probably something that somebody could find it, I don't know, like cheating. I don't care. I just care to make a beautiful image. As long as it's beautiful, it's okay. Usually cheating is no good, because if you can't manage to use uh, your resources, like the the cheats will just show up as cheats. It's like being able to see the trick behind a magic performance. That sucks. Or like spotting every single ingredient in a recipe, like it's not working well. But once everything blends together in a nice, even, consistent form, I think there's no real reason not to use a tool or a strategy. It's just plain stupid to avoid quality just for the sake of being, I don't know, compliant to some stupid law that regulates which drawings are okay and which other are not. Yeah. We finished our graphite LEDs, so I can take some others. Magic number is 5. They never get stuck. Hey, Mash Mario. But you know, the funny part of this of my statement is that I usually never use uh, to work without like to work in this way. Like I'm very into working from scratch. Okay, but that's because I love the final result, which is very honest. Like you can tell it's a drawing, which is something that I love of drawings. Anyway, I would be doing photographs, you know, or photo manipulations. That's why I'm working with graphite or with inks and pencils. I can like, or when I paint, I like to make sure that it's very clear that it's paint. There's no reason to try to make paint looking like a photograph. It's for me, it's kind of, I don't know. It really doesn't make sense to me. Like when you see like very let's a super classic like Giger. If you take the works from Giger, they're very realistic, but you can definitely tell they're illustrations. That's that's the sweet spot for me. Like when you can tell it's a drawing, but it's insanely detailed and beautiful. That's still okay for me. Or if you are completely synthetic, very simple lines, that's beautiful for me as well. When mediums are faking their true nature, well, that's something that I'm not saying it's always wrong, because it's not, but that's something that I don't strive for. I don't know. It's out of my scope, really. Because I don't see why I shouldn't change my medium. Like photography is so nice, film is so nice. Why should I struggle mocking photographs with pencils, you know? Ah, Mashmobius, yeah. You know, that kind of take, if I may disagree, you know, like what happens when you do this kind of paint over with 3D, when you're not able to achieve that perspective by hand, is that usually you may not notice some details that are just wrong, and then you can really spot on there from a 3D reference. Like, put it this way, when you get the perspective right in your drawings, by like when you can plan a good perspective and a good anatomy, then you can use 3D as well, because you know what you're basically achieving, okay? And you can push forward your skills by using a more powerful medium, which is okay for me. When the 3D is a sort of replacement for what you can't do as an artist, it usually shows up in the final product. I'm not saying it's wrong at all. It's probably most of the time you will deliver just very nice drawings, and I'm sure of that. I'm just saying that you have to be aware that your because I say this because you actually stated it in your you know what I'm saying, like, put it this way, one of the most common errors that I see in using photographic references or 3D references is using the wrong lenses, like drawing stuff that doesn't match the real perspective of a 3D scene or a photo. Okay, then you can definitely tell they are just mismatched, and that stuff really kicks out the audience from your vision. It's like, and the problem is that if you didn't think about it, because you don't have the technique to actually think about it, that kind of stuff can really ruin your work. So, as much as I know it sounds boring and tedious, okay, I must suggest you to go back and really dive into your fundamentals. And then you can use 3D photo, whatever you want. Before it can be a problem for your work. I'm just saying this because I care for your work, not for etiquette of how things should be done. There's no single reason to do something for academic teaching. It's more into what you need to, like, to stay safe as an artist, to be sure that it's very hard to mess it up, you know? That's my 2 cents about that technique, which is super powerful, but it's like the dark side. You have to be very, 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 very aware of what you're doing, or it will eat you up. Okay? I'm sorry, I didn't want to be rude or anything, but it's just to make sure that. Thank you, Maurice. Just to make sure that it sounds exactly loud like I wanted to make it sound. I did some comics using paint over on 3D. I did it for Ghost in the Shell, so it was also a very important commission. I drew this story which is called Star Gardens for the Global Neural Network volume by Kodansha, and I actually used a lot of 3D paint over, a lot of. But I wanted to make the whole story look like, you know, sort of way in between a PlayStation game and a comic book. So it did make sense to me to use 3D, to have this very clean lines. Clean, it's nice. The sort of wrap of the two words. Clean lines that look like computer generated for the drawing of the characters. So I decided to go even harsher for the backgrounds and mechanical stuff, which is all 3D. Ehi, Tanuki Grasso! You know, what I love of doing digital drafts is that the digital mind is way more free to make mistake. Like I love to think to my drawings digitally and then to achieve like the performance, the artistic performance on paper, because I feel they are the best of the two worlds. Like when you can actually be completely free, not be scared to do it wrong, with an endless versatility of the medium. Like you can erase, cut, paste as many times as you want, and you won't pierce any hole in the paper. Like digital medium is so good for that, like for thinking out, for jotting out ideas with no fear. That's what I like about drawing in digital. But in the end, when I go to the traditional media, I feel that the performance is so much more important. Like graphite, you can push it so well to any direction you want. Like it's all about your skills, you know. So I love to have a digital draft that can then make me concentrate just on the performance, which is what I'm doing now. So separating the two phases just makes you stronger. And you know, doing this stuff over and over makes you stronger in beginning a drawing in traditional media as well. Like right now I'm much better in traditional media, like full stop, with no digital background, just because I did a lot of it's a sort of educational path where you slowly grow other skills the more you go onto it. It's like it's very empowering kind of sensation. Ciao una ragazza qualunque, buon pranzo. Grazie, Brush. È che è un mostro Hollywood, cosa ne pensi? È un genio assoluto. Da sempre. Cioè, non c'ho avuto un momento che è stato meno che geniale. Un grande totale. He's a genius. Did you render the tone in the digital version too? Not that detail. It's all about it's more about cross-hatching with a lesser dynamics. It's more like a hatched kind of grayscale, because I wanted to show up, wanted it to show up in the print. Being a very light gray print, I tried to keep the grayscale work to mostly cross-hatching of very, I think you can see it if I zoom it very well and I turn on the autofocus. Just a second. Yes, I think you can see here what I'm talking about. Like you can see the lines. It's not a tonal kind of grayscale. It's all about lines. It's a very deep crosshatch, and that's it. See? There's no gray scale actually. It's all about black and white. Here you can see the grayscale, which is totally different stuff. So this is the rendering, this is the reference that I have under my drawing. See? That's very important, because if I did it with a tonal, with a more nuanced grayscale, I would lose everything in the process of making it brighter for the underpainting, which is plain stupid. I would probably have a better digital file, but it would be worthless for the tracing purposes, you know? Like before, because before thinking about the print solution, I was thinking of using a light table, you know? Then I came out with the idea of printing. But so I was working with very strong lines to be sure that they will show up on the light table, which was way too small to keep all the drawing in, so I didn't want to face that problem. To have a smaller surface under the paper would be just a pain, so I decided to print. And it came out to be a good solution, actually. Very smart. I must say of myself that I was very smart. Of course, I'm joking. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm very used to Lightbox actually, and I'm very happy with it. I'm very used to it, so I know how to deliver on that specific tool. But you know, this drawing is so about the tonal control that using the light table forces you to trace all the lines before and then do the tonal control with the light table turned off. Unless you don't want to get a very bad representation of what's dark and what's light. It's very dangerous for grayscale drawings. So basically I ended up with it because it solves so many problems on a different level that it really didn't make sense to do anything else, you know? Guys, I'm sorry if my English it's somehow like stuttering. Like I took a lot of stops to think about my words because my vocabulary is kind of rusty, but I will be better as we go. Okay, that's great news. Hey, Gristle for the win. Thank you so much for the follow. Suicido. Grazie per il follow. Arcliogalva. Thank you so much for the follow. Ehi, Davide. Grazie per il follow. Duvd. Hey, Thomas Kiku. Yeah, it's a mix of all the trees. All the tree, sorry. It's all about, you know, that old school anatomy paintings with all the organs exposed, and nature and tree and roots as well. I'm happy that it's starting to show up as a mix of the three aspects because they are all three together. Okay, guys, I have to go to lunch, so we will start again in an hour or so. Hope an hour should be enough. And so we can finish the rest of the drawing, okay? Thank you so much, Grisel. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you so much. I'll enjoy my lunch, for sure. Ciao ragazzi, a dopo. Ciao a tutti, ciao 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 ciao.